Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wicked Art. It's Wicked here, and it is our Fun Draw Friday. Now, I put up a little poll about what to draw, and had one vote for a DC character, and the rest of y'all said I could draw whatever I wanted, so I figured I'd mix the two. I'm kind of in the mood to draw DC anyway, so we'll draw a picture of Superman today. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to build out our head shape with a little bit of a circle here for our head. And then the thing with Superman and DC is he's known for having this really strong jawline, so we're gonna bring that kind of out a little bit there, and then from there I can just simply start adding in like the neckline, and then do this kind of coat hanger shape for the trap muscles. So I can just bring that out that way like that. And I can start building out the muscle for the shoulders. Just so I can get an idea of where to put in the chest at. Superman has a very broad chest line, so we're gonna kind of build that out. Let's kind of round those trapezes a little bit. And build out those shoulder muscles a little bit. And so I'm just going to keep working some muscle lines in here. You want to kind of beef out his arms, and we'll obviously make adjustments to things. Just trying to get a basic foundation in here, so I'm just kind of sketching out the different shapes and stuff that'll make up Superman's body here. Kind of come down into here. And bring that part out. Get this for the abdomen section. A little bit here. Sides and the hips. Let's kind of angle that a little bit more. It's a little bit too straight. Let's kind of bring that out. So we're just kind of beefing him up a little bit. Let's kind of shrink him down some. Essentially what you want to do is just get a base foundation for what it is you're trying to draw. Okay, so like I can come in here and shrink that down a little bit. And we're going to go for more of like a classic suit a little bit. Pelvic region in here. Kind of arch that out just a little bit until we come down to our thigh. So we want to kind of build up that muscle in the thigh here that's closest to us. Come down this way. Kind of round out that muscle shape here. Really kind of pull that down. So we can continue working now with the shoulders and the biceps. So we want to, again, Superman, the version we're building, he's got some size to him. So I'm just going to continue to build up those muscles into the forearm. And this is just going to give us, a good enough foundation because he is Superman, so we got to exaggerate the size of the muscles just a little bit. Okay, so we come down here to the hands, build up my thumb shape. That way I can get the rest of the fist down over here. A slight bit of the palm showing. Then we want to kind of do the same. The other side here, just kind of build up those muscles. And again, just kind of working them into the point that we can at least set ourselves a foundation. To get down towards the wrist with these forearms. Let's drag the thumb out this way. Again, gonna bring those. I'm gonna kind of shape the frame. Let's come from the back side over here. Trying to get it to where it's not like, you know, super thick looking, at least to a point anyway. We're not going to be able to see all of the hand there. We want to kind of build out the tricep. And bring it out just a little bit more. Down to the elbow. And then down in here, we're going to have our cape. Okay, so we got our cape kind of coming out there. And then we want it to do the same on this side. Can have that fold over. Go out past the shoulder a little bit. Kind of just have it come down. A little curvature to it. And then kind of give it like a little flap in the wind. Kind of look down there. It's towards the bottom. Now we can come in and get other things like, I know I want us to shorten this top area here. And we can build out the S, the Superman symbol. And that'll help us cover up, you know, some of the chest area. Come up that way. We'll use that there. Let's bring this over a little bit more. Of course, what we do to one side, need to kind of do it to the other. Just keep it somewhat even. Okay. So now we can start working on little things like adding the details in. For DC, they use like the heavy shadows and stuff like that. So we're going to kind of start with that, with just building out like the shadow on the chest here. Have that kind of come out this way. Have those little creases. in the chest. Have that come down into the shoulder. Now the risk you run when you draw this way is obviously if you mess up. I mean, that's that's pretty much the end game on that when it comes to erasing. So when I refine these lines and go around and erase, there might be some spots that just aren't going to disappear out of there. So it's just a risk that you'll take. Just really make sure that you're following closely enough that it's not going to, affect your final image. Do this. Get those wrinkles going down into the part where the cape is tucking in on the outfit. Now here, you kind of decide refine this and just take it back right here. And what that'll do is that'll clear up some space to where we can make this go a little bit more straight across. Okay, so I'm going to keep going around and working in the different shadows and stuff on the image. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead, let's refine our S symbol. Okay, and then like right here at the chest, we can darken and refine that line. And then we can build out the rest of it from here. What I'm going to do is as I come around right here to the center region, I want to kind of draw out my abs a little bit, just so that I have a base reference for my shading as well. So like when I come out this way and round it up, I'll have a better chance of keeping it even before I go too dark. So like this area here, a little bit more roundness to it. You can kind of stretch this one out. And then down here for the last one, we'll just have that disappear down into the belt. Okay, so now I can go and I can continue around. With the shading that I want. As I come around this way, I want to kind of shape out the obliques a little. Okay. And that in turn, it'll build out another set. Just fill that in there. Okay. Kind of thicken this part right here. And that'll all just build up as we go. So again, like towards the center, see how I'm keeping it kind of thin, but then branching back out as I get towards the bottom. Like that. Okay, keep a little bit thinner on this side, but when we come out, right here we'll have a little thickness to it, right in there. And you can clean up any sketchiness that you have along the way. So again, we're just going to kind of round in. Come here. Now before I get too far, what we're going to go ahead and do is get that separation of the belt. Like I said, I'm going for kind of like the old school uniform a little bit. So we can kind of get this little belt circle like that there. And then we want the other end of the belt there. Just have that connect right in there, and then as we work our way back, get another one right here, and just connect that in. Okay, then we can just take the belt back and have that come out from behind right there. And now we have ourselves a nice little belt line right in there. I'm going to stay close to the bottom here. And just add minor detail right there. And as we bring that up, we can add in a few wrinkles here, just to show some difference in the outfit itself. And build that back up that way. Now from in here, I can take what I've got. We can leave like a small opening here. Just for some reflectivity purposes. Some light shining in some areas. Okay. And we can kind of meet up to our chest. So we can kind of build that out this way. And then from there we can kind of come out with some wrinkles here and there. Just underneath, just so we see, you know, the shape of different muscles and things from the obliques as we go back. Okay. So now that I have that area built up, what we can go ahead and do is we can get this S symbol in here. So I'm going to start with a triangle down here at the bottom. And then we're going to put like the little curve for the S right here. Kind of go up. So it's almost like we're making another triangle. Put a curve to it. As this S comes down, we'll come over and round back up. And go across. Okay, so we kind of got like the bottom part of the S. Next thing we want to do is build out the top. So that's going to kind of come up. Right, we want to kind of round it. Like that. We'll come out with our S. Might be too sharp. Let's come down with it. Come over. We can just curve that to here. Like that. And then we can do like kind of like the outside. Give us the outside curve there. And then like up here at the top, there's a very small triangle for our S up there. Okay. So I'm going to come back over in here on this side, close to the chest. And we're going to build out our shadows on the arm. So like this whole bicep area. I'm going to shade that in. Just like that there. Then I can refine my line work in here. Get rid of any of the sketchy lines. Okay. I can come back to this portion right here. Down into the arm. Help me define that forearm a little bit. So we'll kind of curve that out. So do you see the shading's a real dark? A lot of shadow cast on there. You know, you really want to study this and get really good. Go look at Jim Lee. He's the one that kind of set the standard for DC art, especially. He had a great run on Marvel too, but like some of his best work, in my opinion, is Superman and Batman. Just really awesome job drawing that. The man is the master of his craft and still is to this day. Okay, so we're going to build up this bottom edge here and build our forearm that way. Okay, I want to kind of give a little depth to the sleeve here. That way. And then we can put like another line here to just show some differentiation in there. Just kind of thickening that up just a little bit. And I can come here, add a little bit of a turn. And then again, just kind of refine my line work up to there. And we can clean up any of the sketchiness that we have. Okay, go ahead and we can refine the cape here. And make that a little less sketchy. Okay, so now I want to come in here, I want to focus on the hand on this side, and if you notice I'm just kind of sticking with this side. We can actually go ahead and close this part off right here. Okay, and I want to kind of work the shadows in a way that we can define the hand without taking too much away from it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put that shadow right there on the hand, as well as come across and make the thumb that way. And I can kind of just draw in some detail there. And we want to get a tiny bit right here for the hand. Looking like that. And then we can have a little bit of detail like that for the knuckle. And bring that out. Kind of have that curved back like that. And that way we get ourselves like a little fist going right there. Okay, so I want to make sure all this is refined in here as well. And then we can come over here to the bicep. Now the way we're turning and with the shoulders, we're going to have to be careful with how we set that up. So we want to pick certain aspects of it. Keep thin in certain areas, and then once we get to more of like rounded bits, take that out that way. and then just kind of define that shoulder muscle. And when we come down here, bicep, we're going to have our shadow since it's close to the side here. Have that come in. And we're going to stretch that down right here into the forearm. Okay. And get some little bit of shadow turns here in the forearm region. Like really take that down. Like that. Then what we want to do is kind of split it out like a triangle. Show that divide that way. Bring out that forearm. Right into here. Down into the wrist. Like that. And kind of do the same thing like we did before. Okay. So now that's built up. We can come in here and we can define our hand a little bit better. So we kind of have that rounded out. And go that way with it. And then let's turn inside like that. Maybe build up a little off to the side. You know, we want to build up this wrinkle here, but now I want to take my hand out. And kind of round that off. Okay, so now that I have that in there, probably do a little bit of a knuckle shape right here. A little shadowy work right inside of there. Again, we can work that shadow out. Get a little bit more on the knuckle there. And we want to give like some, definition into the hand. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just to kind of break it up a little bit. Okay. And just like before, you do want a little sleeve shadow work. Since our sun's more on that side, I'm going to add in a little shape here. like that. So we kind of go from there. We can kind of make the elbow a little bit smaller right here. Maybe not quite so big, you know. And we want to work that line right there like that on the bicep. Let's finish building out our shoulder here. I add a little bit more of a curve there. And take this cape and connect it. Clean up all these little sketchy lines right here. And we'll add some more detail to that later. So we definitely want to have this side that's kind of draped over the shoulder this way. And kind of darken that up. Then I can refine my cape line like that. But then we can give it a real close edge for the light to hit so it doesn't look so flat. Just like that. Okay. Now, next thing I'm going to do before I move up to the head and stuff, I'm going to finish off this area down here towards the bottom. Okay. So little things like, you know, the cloth on the thigh, you know, we darken that up. Up here on the underbelt, darken that whole region down there. Okay, give a little hint of a circular shape here, like that, as well as add in some kind of wrinkle creases in here for this. It's kind of the way the belt's set up. Alright, now we can come in here and we can add some definition. Let's put a tiny bit of light right there. And we can go ahead and build that out. Just add in that detail. Get a few shape change lines in here as well. Just for a little bit more detail into that as well. So now that we have that, we can kind of come down into this thigh. Build that out. And then just follow that down into here. And we'll thicken that up. Back to a point. Okay. And we want a little bit of a curve in here. So we get that shadow right there on the outside. And build into the knee right in there. So maybe thicken that connection there, and then we'll kind of spread out to here. Just clean up around that area. Build out some definition with this part of the thigh. Like that. Let's see how we want to split this muscle. We'll go this way with it. So there, now we got that. So we need to still finish off our tricep. Right in there. Okay, so let's get a little bit, let's get some shadows going. Down here in the cape. Just give that a little bit more detail. So I'm just going to fill that in to about right there. That same kind of shape going back. And we'll just work that around the fist. And we'll probably just take it down to here. And we'll just fill that in. And you can do that nice and solid if you want to. You can leave it a little sketchy like that. It's fine. It's up to you. We do want a little bit around the fist. we'll just work right back up the side. Leave that little bit of a gap in there so it looks like we have a turn going on. A few more lights peeking in. We'll just fill in the rest of that there. So it takes care of the cape on that side. Now let's knock out the cape on this side. And leave a little gap just so we can see a bit of the leg. Yeah, we'll fill it in. We'll just keep it true. Okay. And then we want to take that fold. Leave a gap right there. Up to the belt. Right there along the body. A little bit more shadow right there. Now we can work up here into the face. Okay, so we can take this up, go around. Add a little detail of that there. And we want to kind of turn that this way. Again, we want a few of those wrinkle lines in there, just to show it folding in. And then we can take this, darken that up a little bit, show a different transition. Right inside there. Okay, so now I can come in here and we can start drawing the face and stuff before we start shading like the neck. So like for the chin, you know, down in this area, since I really want to kind of define the shape of it and really just give him that kind of broad chin. I'm going to go ahead and just define that part of the face. Just kind of working with forms here. Extend that over. Okay, and then for the mouth, we want to kind of come up from the chin. We'll give him a stern look. Just like that. And then to help me define that lip, I can come underneath like that. And that'll help me define that bottom lip. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is start working towards the rest of the face. Okay. So like down here for the nose area, I want a little bit of a gap right down in here. So I'm just kind of drawing the nostrils in right now. And what little bit of line work that I do want. So that can help define my nose. I'm going to kind of build up like where my shadow would be on the face. We can kind of have our brow furrowed a little bit. So at least that way now I know where to draw my eyebrows at. Right there. Okay, and then I want my eyes themselves. Right in there. Then I want to come over this other part. And I want to kind of bring my eyebrows out this way. And again, I want to define my eyes. So I can kind of go around them that way. And I do want to have a little bit of definition to kind of bring out the jaw and the high cheekbones. So bringing those out. Help me define the face a little bit better. And then right down in here, work a little bit of the shadow magic right in here. Again, I want to define just a little bit of the jaw. So we're doing more of a stoic, older looking Superman. Get those ears in here. Let's have those run right down here. Okay, now keep things even. I'm going to go ahead and start with this other side over here. Get that ear in. Okay. And then I want to work in the hair and stuff. So let me finish some of the shadow under the eye, around the hair. Okay. So we're going to build that up like that. Get another little trademark curl over right there. Just kind of curve that, have that meet, clean up a lot of that sketchiness right in there. Because like I said, I'm doing kind of like an old school soups here, so we have that for our forehead. Maybe bring in some more line work here. And just have that be close to the head there. Bring that neck down. We can go ahead and start defining that. Okay, so certain things we want to start defining, like the muscles. Kind of want to get that voice box part of the throat right in there like that. I'm picking up some of that stuff right over here. And kind of round that out. And we can define a little bit of thickness right here. That should be good enough for the neck. Okay, so now I want to bring in that hair. So now we got kind of like our older Superman look. What we'll do is we'll just kind of, I want to color it black. Just like a dark gray. That way it doesn't match too much with the shadows we got going around it. I'm just kind of filling that in with a dark gray. Just like that. So now we have a nice little outlined Superman. What you could do is, for the suit, now unless you want to actually like color him, you could come in here and you could lightly shade in just the suit. not necessarily like the red and yellow on the S or the cape, but just the suit itself. It'll just make it pop out a little bit more. So it's not super flat. So we can just kind of come in here and just lightly color it in. Just the parts that would be blue. And again, it'll just help everything else. And like if you were drawing a comic book, I wouldn't do that. That's obviously you're gonna have a color come in. Unless your comic book's all gonna be just shaded, and you want to add in shading details to that. Okay. Now we are missing one more thing. That'll kind of help a little bit once we finish coloring that in. We're going to do like that comic book hatchy look in certain areas, just to kind of help it stand out with that look a little bit more. So we're just going to finish coloring that in. And again, only on the blue. Okay. So again, if you've stuck around this long, I really do appreciate it, and I'd love to see your work. You can share it with me on Twitter. But yeah, one of the DC characters, there's just a lot more, let's say, shadow detail, like the inking and stuff. A lot more realism in their structure, like with, like I said, jaw lines and stuff like that tend to lean more towards the real side. Not so much body types, I mean, because they're superheroes, so they're going to be a little bit on the bulkier, side of things. But what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. We're going to add these little hatching shadow details on our bulky parts. And what that'll do is give us a little bit more of the look we're looking for. You can kind of just cross hatch it in there. Like especially these spots on the abs, they don't have to be super big. Just enough. Give it a little bit more roundness. Again, you can cross hatch some of those. Extend it out. And like I said, what that'll do, it'll just pop it out some more. You want to try to be a little bit more free with it. Like you can in certain spots just have barely any crosshatch shading. That just depends on you and how you want it to look. We're just going to hatch that through. So you can see how it's adding a little bit of extra layers to that. You could do the same thing in here. With your neck muscle definition. And just kind of cross hatch some lines in there. It's just a little extra layer of shading. That'll bring your picture out a little bit more. Okay, so like same thing here on the thighs. Cross hatch that up. Okay, let's do a little on this thigh. Let's come across. Right in there. Get some in here. Okay, so you can see how that kind of just adds a little something extra in there. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just gives it more of a comic book look to it. I said I am by no means a master of that. So like I said, you can always go out there and study other works and get the hang of that. Just kind of getting back into the shading, like with the hatching work with the comics. Just for my own graphic novel that I'm going to come out with. The volume 2 is going to be a lot darker, so I wanted to get more shadow work and stuff, so I'm not really like settled yet on which style I want to go with for that second volume. But get some work in here on the face. And a little on the forehead right here. Like that. And put some down here on the cape here. That is going to do it for our Fun Draw Friday. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. I hope you stuck around. But yeah, that's our Superman. If you liked what you saw, you want to see more videos like this, please let me know in the comments. Like, share, and most of all, subscribe if you want to see more. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember to keep sketching, and I'll see you in the next one, alright? Bye.